Hi snooker fans, Curtis Braithwaite here for Cuesports Club. I'm at the Tempodrome in Berlin to do a Q&A session with a Triple Crown winner, a very good pal of mine, the jester himself, Mark Selby. Mark, how are you, son?
Good, mate, you?
Yeah, mate, not bad, not bad.
Good.
Now, in the beginning, what made you take up snooker?
I think it was my father, really. I mean, he used to play just with his friends at the local snooker club. I used to go and watch him when I was 7, 8 years old. And after they finished, I used to play a little bit myself, just try and hit a few balls and stuff. And he sort of teaching me how to stand, how to bridge and all that. And just fell in love with it ever since.
Well, not the worst career choice in the world, is it, son?
No, it could have been better though. Could have been tennis or golf or football, something like that. But I'll have to accept snooker.
Correct, pal. And today, who's had the most influence on your career?
Same again, probably would be my father. I mean, obviously, as I say, he got me involved in it. Also, Malcolm Thorne as well, Willie's brother, who sadly passed away a few years ago. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. He sort of to give me the start in snooker. Gave me free practice at Willie Thorne's when I was 11. My father didn't really have that much money to fund me playing as much as I'd like to play. So, yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for Malcolm, then probably, as I say, wouldn't be where I am today. So, yeah, it'd be up there as well.
I mean, God rest his soul, Malcolm. He did so much for junior snooker, didn't he?
It was great, yeah. I mean, for the grassroots game, I mean, like, more or less everybody who's on the tour, if you speak to them, they've been played at Willie Thorne's and had some dealings with Malcolm at some point in their career. And, just a great guy overall, really.
Absolutely, pal. Now, it's a bit hard for me to ask you what your goals are, pal, since you hold two of the three current Triple Crowns at the moment, mate. But what are your goals for the rest of the season?
Just to try and keep on winning as many tournaments as possible and try and keep them ranking tournaments tally going up and up. As you say, I've won the Triple Crown, which is great. But once you've had that feeling and experience of winning it, it's always nice to try and do it again. So yeah, obviously that would be my aim, try and win them again. But just try and win as many tournaments as possible, really.
Absolutely, pal. Now, what cue do you currently use?
Cue I've had it for about 9 or 10 years. It's Stanford cue, really, really nice. Unless anything drastic happens to it, I don't think I'd ever change from that. So, yeah, Stanford cue. I mean, Paul Roberts and Lewis, who used to play himself on the tour, works with his dad now and stuff. So, yeah, do a great job and owe him a lot.
Good man. And what tip do you use?
Just a Elkmaster, really. I know a lot of the players over the years have changed to Kamui and all that, but I just stick with the same old Elk. And it's not done me too bad so far, so I'll stay with that.
Absolutely not. I mean, between you and Stephen Hendry, 9 more championships with Elkmaster can't be too bad, can it, son?
No, I mean, I'm not too bad with tips, really. I mean, I'll stick one on unless it's drastically bad. I very rarely take it off and change it for another one. I'll just carry on and play through it and just change it when you do need a new tip, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, pal, you've had tons of success in your career, like we said earlier on, Triple Crown winner and whatnot, as we say. But tell us the most memorable match you've been involved in.
Most memorable match would probably have to be, I'd probably have to say beating Ronnie in the World Final, I suppose. Obviously, to win the World Championship for the first time was a dream come true. But to play him in the final as well, if I could predict to play anyone in the final and win, obviously it would have been Ronnie, because in my eyes he's probably the greatest player to ever play the game. And not only beat him, but the way I won, to come from 8-3 down and 10-5 down and sort of graft my way back into the game, and then on the second day played a lot better and sort of played my best snooker towards the end of the match, really, when I needed to.
Yeah, you're one of the few players that definitely know how to put it up him, as we say, and like get him at it, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's my style of play, whether he just don't like playing me, but I think I just like don't fear him. I think that's the biggest thing. Just play the table and just try and just play your own shots, really. I mean, obviously it's easier said than done, because as I say, he's sort of got that aura about him. Same with Phil Taylor had with the darts, and even Michael Van Gogh now. So yeah, I mean, you just have to try and blank out who's in that seat, as hard as it is, and just play your own game, really.
Yeah. Sorry to ask you this one on a sour note, pal, but mind you, I don't mind upsetting you from time to time anyway. But what's your most painful defeat?
So many. Most painful defeat would probably have to be a few years ago. I lost to Barry Hawkins in the World Championships, not because obviously I just didn't play well. I mean, Barry played well, but obviously it was towards the point when I had my neck injury going to the World Championships. At one stage I wasn't looking like even being able to go there and play. A sports physio lady in Billericay managed to do some massages on me and got me to the point where I could play. But even going there, I knew in the back of my mind that I wasn't going to go on and do anything. I was just happy to be walking out there and playing in the World Championships. But yeah, obviously losing, going back home, it was sore, because obviously through no fault of my own, I'm thinking, well, obviously I had no chance to physically do that well in the tournament, and it was just a non-runner, really. But at the same time, just happy to be able to walk out there and play and not playing it at all.
Absolutely, pal. Now, it's a strange question for me to ask you because you yourself have been the answer to this question for so many other players. But in your opinion, who's the toughest player on tour to beat?
Toughest player on tour to beat? It'd have to be one of two, John Higgins or O'Sullivan. I mean, Ronnie, when he's at his best and he's got the right mental frame of mind, he's probably unbeatable at times. John Higgins obviously showed his pedigree for years and years and years. 41 years old now, 42, still competing at the top level, winning major ranking events. Not really got a weakness in his game, so yeah, it'd be John or Ronnie. Obviously, like it's a flip of a coin, really.
Good man. Now, Mark, you won plenty of trophies, pal, but what would you say is your best personal achievement in snooker so far?
Best personal achievement in snooker? Probably winning the Masters, I suppose. Obviously, the very first tournament I won as a professional, even though it's not a ranking tournament, but you speak to the likes of Endry and stuff, they put that in front of the UK, so to win that on my debut as well, first time there, it's very, very special, and obviously one I'll always remember.
Good man. Now, you got quite a bit of banter about your son, although I think the roof's a little bit shocking, but yeah, all good otherwise. But who would you say is your best friend on tour?
Best friend on tours? I mean, there's not really that many players who I don't get on with.
Yeah.
Obviously, we see each other all the while, more or less like family. Every other week we're playing a tournament here and there. So Ben Wollaston, obviously from Leicester.
Yeah.
Michael Holt would be up there, great lad. Mark Williams obviously loves a bit of banter. But yeah, I mean, there's so many. I mean, like all the lads on tour, they're all good lads. You know, it's hard to just single one person out. Obviously, definitely you won't be up there, that's for sure.
Cheers, marvellous, charming. Now, pal, I know you, when it comes to selecting restaurants, you're not the best, mate, especially by last night. But what is actually your favourite food?
Favourite food would probably have to be Chinese, I think. I love Chinese food, but the Western Chinese food. We go to China sometimes, and I try and just stick safe and not venture out too much. But yeah, the Chinese food back home in the UK would probably have to be my favourite, I think.
You're not too wild on the authentic dishes, then, pal, enough?
Not really. I mean, in China, like I say, I mean, some of the stuff they eat, like if it walks, I mean, they eat it. You know what I mean? It's like unbelievable. But yeah, I just try and stick safe if I'm out there, have a club sandwich or something in the hotel. Don't venture out too much. But as I say, the Chinese food back home is nice. I mean, I probably should say Indian food. I mean, the amount of Indian restaurants we have in Leicester.
Well, you live in Leicester, pal. Do you know
the amount of Indian restaurants we have in Leicester is unbelievable. But yeah, Chinese would probably be there.
Good man. And your favourite drink?
Favourite drink? If it's non-alcoholic, it's probably coffee. I could drink coffee all day long, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I might drink, I'm not a big drinker. Probably just lager, Budweiser, or something like that. Don't really drink too many spirits. And as I say, not the best drinker overall anyway.
That what I used to call you too, Mark Selby, yeah?
Possibly, that's probably why, yeah. I got carried out a few years ago in Germany.
Quality, pal. Now, you played at all the venues, UK and abroad, but what's your favourite venue to play at?
Favourite venue would probably have to be the Crucible, just because of the history. I mean, when it gets to that one table setup, I don't think there's no venue like it. Even though I think it only holds 960, 970 people, so when you look at the other venues like here and you look at UK and Masters, it's holding like 1,000, 2,000. It's only half of them, but I mean, just the atmosphere and like you say, the history, because it's so small and compact, the atmosphere seems to stay in, and as I say, that one table setup, there's no venue like it.
Yeah, fully agree. But sensational atmosphere in there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was only like up till probably I was about 17 the first time I went there to actually see it. Obviously, I'd never played there up until I qualified, but I mean, just to go and watch, it's the first time at 17, and you watch it on TV, and it looks like huge, like the venue, and you get there and it's like a rabbit warren, and like the board's down the middle. You've not really got that much room with all the cameras there and stuff. But yeah, it's a special venue.
Absolutely, I fully agree. Now, with such a tough schedule that you guys have, when you actually get a chance to relax away from the table, where do you like to do so?
Just at home, really. Just spend time with the family. As you say, the schedule's so busy, so the time we are at home is like quite precious now. I mean, we're not there that often, and with having Sophie now as well, it's actually nice to just spend some time at home. So yeah, just relaxing at home really, and just doing some family stuff. Good
man. I know you like your music, pal, and I know you think you can dance, mate, but I can quietly confirm that you can't, pal.
I can't dance, mate. No, I've got two left feet.
But what is the favourite music you like listening to?
I just like music in general, really. I've not got a specific like kind of music. I could go from R&B to 80s to Motown, but if I had a band, it would probably be Kasabian, I suppose, with the Leicester connection, yeah, and obviously getting to know some of the boys over the last few years and been to watch them a few times, and yeah, they're great live. Just
talking on Leicester a minute, pal. What's happened here, man? It's
a
train wreck this season,
isn't it? It's all gone tits up, innit? It's all gone tits up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I didn't think they'd go down because I think they're too strong. I think there's a lot of teams worse than them, but you're only as good as your last result, and I can't see where the next result's coming from at the minute. So, yeah, worrying times.
Absolutely, pal. Fully agree. Now, who was your sporting hero when you were growing up?
Sporting hero growing up, in snooker related, or
No, just in general, pal.
well, if it was snooker related, it probably would have been somebody like Hendry. I mean, obviously Ronnie sort of was a little bit later on when I first started watching snooker, so it'd probably been Hendry if it was like snooker related, just because of his will to win and obviously his hunger for the game. But sporting hero now will probably be somebody like Federer, I suppose. I mean, I'd love to meet him. I think he just seems like just so grounded, great guy. Obviously, you never ever see him in the press. Obviously, he just keeps himself to himself. Nice family man, and obviously fantastic player. He's had a fantastic career.
Yeah, super smooth dude, isn't he?
Never sweats. Never ever sweats. Anytime he sweats is when he's in the sauna.
Correct, pal, correct. A last question, my man. If you could run well snooker, what changes would you make and why?
If I could run well snooker, I don't know. I think Barry's done a great job, to be fair, since he's come in. Obviously, we've got loads more tournaments now. Don't really have that much of a break, even when the season finishes. It's a few weeks and then you're back into a qualifying again. I think, if anything, I'd probably like stuff like the UK where he dropped it down to a best 11. I'd probably put that back up to 17s. I think it's sort of lost its aura a little bit. Obviously, when it used to be best of 17s, it was a great comp. Not that it's not a great comp now, but I just think it sort of lost its prestige a little bit. And yeah, a lot of tournaments seem to be short race now. And yeah, if I could change anything, just stuff like that, I think I'd probably just make them a little bit longer format. Good
man. Look, Mark, all of us at Cuesports want to thank you so much for your time, pal.
Cheers, mate.
And wish you the very best for the rest of the season, mate.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Man.